Hi everyone, today is crouton day and I'm making my own homemade croutons and I've done it for quite a while now. They are super tasty and a lot cheaper than buying the stuff in the bag. And when we go up to camp, none of us can ever remember if we brought buns or not. And then somehow we end up with 9 bags of buns, as you can see. And instead of throwing them away, I will just toss them in the freezer and save them to make croutons. And if you don't have frozen ones, if you go camping, if you don't have that, then it's a really good idea. You can find reduced ones at your grocery store, like go to a day-old bread store. That you can get them for super cheap. Or you can go to your local food shelf or food pantry, and if you qualify for that, and you can get them there too. And you can use it, and they're cheap and they're really, really tasty. So today I've got all my buns that I have frozen and my reduced price buns here. But what I do is I take my bread knife, and if I have a hot dog bun, I just go right down the middle with it with my bread knife. And then I will cut it into bite-sized pieces. I mean, obviously you want to defrost them before you do this. Just make them into little bite-sized pieces like normal crouton pieces. You can also make your own stuffing this way for Thanksgiving. So this might be a good thing for Thanksgiving. But see, they'll just break apart. And then I will add them to my roasting pan here. Instead of making you guys suffer through my my cutting of all my buns, I will be right back, and this will be full and this will be full, and then I'm going to tell you what to do with this good stuff. Okay. So I noticed that some of my hamburger buns have sesame seeds on top. And I just happen to have some sesame seed in my cupboard, so I thought, you know what, yeah, I'm just going to go with that. So I'm finishing up my last one here. I make my chunks a little bit bigger because I make a lot of soups. And if they're too small, then they become really soggy and gross. So I don't like that. I like them to stay nice and crispy as long as they can. So here I am. This is where we're at right now. You're going to need a spoon, and this is olive oil. Now, you're going to dump olive oil onto your breadcrumbs. You know, get a kind of good layer on there, like that. And then go ahead, and if you remember, my very first video was about this onion powder made from onion skins. This is what I'm going to use. So I have about 4 tablespoons in here. I'm going to sprinkle on there. I have 2 tablespoons of garlic powder that I'm going to split between these two roasters here. I have 2 tablespoons of salt, regular salt, 2 tablespoons of regular old black pepper, and like I said, I'm going to roll with the toasted sesame seeds. Then we're going to stir this up. We're going to stir it up good. Get all the seasoning as mixed up as you can, as much as you can. And then once you see the olive oil, you don't have to use olive oil either. I just choose to use it. And then you're going to drizzle some more on top of it. You want them to get coated but not saturated with it. And give it a good mix again. You could probably use vegetable oil, canola oil. I just chose olive oil. Sounds healthier, right? At least it sounds healthier. Put a little bit more on there. Get one more good stir. And then I'm going to pop them in the oven at 350 and at probably 10 to 15 minute intervals to pull them out and give them a shake and stir them around a little bit until they are dark and toasted, and they are so good. Just ask my family. I had 9 bags. I have a half a bag left in like 4 months. I think I'm going to hide them next time. This time. Not next time. This time. You hear that, Joe? I'm hiding them.
Yeah, I'll find them.
No, you won't. I'll put them somewhere where he doesn't dare go. And that's by the washer and dryer downstairs. Be back in a bit. So my croutons are out of the oven and they are perfect. Oh, they are so good and they are so crunchy. And now that's all that's left to do is to store them. And I store them in a jar with a lid on it that you can snap shut. Or just a regular Ziploc bag. And then just put them in your cupboard. And they are good for a long time. If they can last that long. Mine don't last that long in the house, so, but yours might, but mine won't. If you like my content, please hit subscribe and share. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Good night. And you will have beautiful croutons for soups, salads, snacks. My favorite is my homemade French onion soup with my homemade croutons on top with melted either mozzarella, Munster, or provolone cheese on top. Oh, so good. So good. And so we're just about done. I'm almost full. Put one more scoop in there that can fit. There we go. And then here we are. The croutons, just set them in the cupboard. Dump them out when you need them.